Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. This is Kari from sunshineinmypocket.com, here to share another card. This time I'm going to be using the Llama Love stamp set from Missing Stamps. This is a pretty new stamp set and I just love all these images. And I thought today it would be fun to pair them with this sock stencil and I Love You More Than Socks stamp set. I also have the coordinating dies. This one has some little socks in it and a little character that I thought would be funny to use. And then I'm going to use this teacups stamp set for these little banners. I end up just using the flag banners, but you could use any of those and I think it would look great. I'm also going to bring in another frame die and I'll show you that in just a minute. But let's get started on these socks. This stencil is really fun. It's a 2-layer stencil. So this first layer here has the outlines of the socks and I'm going to use a green to ink on the socks today. This is a distress ink and I'm just using a light layer just like that, and then I'm going to line up the second layer of the stencil, and this time I'm going to use some turquoise ink. This is Peacock Feathers and I'm putting this one on a little heavier so that it would cover up that green beneath it. So we're going to have green and blue striped and polka dotted socks, which I think might be my favorite. They're very, very cute. So I'll finish inking this up and let me show you how this turns out. Like I said, I love this stencil. You could do lots of different techniques with it, different colors. But look at those stripes. Very cute. And the polka dots also very, very cute. There you go. There's a close-up look. I can't wait to use this stencil again for a Christmas stocking type holiday card. I think that would be really cute. And now I'm going to use this frame die right here to cut out a dark gray frame to go around it. Now I've already colored up my images, or most of my images. I'll color up this little character for you on screen, but I've got the llama there, the one that's been sheared already. You can add a scarf to him. I've got the bucket of wool and that little razor blade, or the trimmer. So we've already got the beginnings of a really great card, but now I'm going to stamp out this little creature here, the flags, little banner there, and a couple of the socks from this stamp set. And I'm going to stamp those a couple of times because I want a number of socks to add to this card. So I'm using some Memento Tuxedo Black ink, which is my new go-to again for Copic coloring. I recently bought a new one of these and now that it's nice and juicy and ready to go, it makes me so happy. So I've recently just gone back to this ink after trying various different inks again. So I'm going to stamp these down a number of times, like I said. So we'll have a couple of banners and 4 little socks and this little creature guy. And now I'm going to go ahead and color them up. For this little character, I am starting with R01 to add a little bit of blush to his cheeks, some pink to his ears. And then I'm going to go in with the E53 and just start coloring his entire face and body. He's pretty small, so it's real easy to color him all up at once. I've got E51 here and I'll go in with that one next, and then I'll blend that all out with the E50 just like this. Very cute. And I'm going to go ahead and brighten up those pink areas and go through all of the colors yet again just to make him a little bit darker, and that way you'll be able to see him a little better. I kind of think I'm going to have him peeking out from behind the basket of wool. I think that would be really cute. So adding a little green to his eyes. I'm not sure you'll be able to see his entire body once I put this card together, but just in case, I'm going to color up his little outfit, for lack of a better word, the same as the banners. So I'm going to do every other one a little bit pink and then the rest of them a little bit orange, and I'll use that same orange for his outfit, costume outfit. Yeah. So you can see the colors here that I'm using on screen. It's very, very fast, simple coloring, and I thought Pinks and oranges would be great to add to our blue and green background, but I am going to color up the socks with some turquoise colors. So here you can see I'm coloring up his little toga. Can you call it that, I guess? And I'm going to darken it up with those darker oranges, blend that out just like I like to do, and then blend that all through with the lighter colors. But I'm not spending way too much time on it because I knew that you might not be able to see it all. I'm going in now with the coordinating dies, and I'm going to use some really low tack tape to tape those on. You want to use low tack tape for sure after you color something, because you definitely don't want to rip your image once you've colored it. It's happened to me too many times, and now I stick with this really low tack tape, and sometimes I use this tape multiple times before it stops sticking, and that makes sure that it doesn't rip my paper. So there's all our elements cut out, and now it's time to figure out how this is all going to fit together. All right, I'm going to go ahead and place the banners on the top. I want to put a sock right in that bucket of wool and a few socks hanging from the flag banners there. I really wanted that razor to hang from the top, but once I added the sentiments that I'm going to use, it really didn't fit hanging down from the top anymore. So I'll use that coming off from the left side of the card. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue on that frame. I love the little squares around the border of this frame. I think it adds just a lot to a card. And now I'll glue this little character behind the wool basket. See, you can't really see his outfit, so you don't need to color that if you're going to use this card design. And I did cut a little slit in that sock there so it could hang right over the banner, just like this. And I'll glue that sock to the front, but there's a little slit there, so I just slid it over the top. And I'll glue this other banner on the opposite side, just like this. And glue that down too, so there's socks kind of hanging everywhere. Woolen socks. And the sentiment says there's one in every herd. Nothing to see here. And so I just thought that was funny with this little sheared llama with all the wool and the socks. See, I'm still trying to get that razor to fit there, but it just wasn't working out. So I am going to place it down here at the bottom, and I'll just glue that on with liquid adhesive as well, just like so. And then we'll go ahead and add our little characters to that background. I did add some foam adhesive for these. I really do like to add a little dimension, so some foam adhesive for my characters always seems to be my go-to. I love to do that. So we'll pop this little guy up as well, and then I'll glue down the sentiments, which I did already stamp with black ink, and cut them out into banner strips. So I'll place one on top of the other just like this. Now we can put on, now I don't know if I'm going to put that scarf on. I was feeling like there was a lot going on this card, so I might leave the scarf off. What do you think? And then I want this little sock to kind of be hanging from those banners as well. So I'll put that there. Okay, with or without the scarf? You can vote below. Tell me what you think. I'm going to think about that while I score and fold my card base. And then I'll glue the panel right to the card base, just like this. And we can finish off this card. One more check. Scarf or no scarf? Scarf or no scarf? I went and asked my husband what he thought. Now, he's not a card maker. He's not even a designer. But he voted no scarf. And so I kind of was leaning towards that way anyway with all the background noise. Plus, I kind of colored up that llama with a little bit of pink, and it was covering up a lot of that sheared, freshly sheared look. So I end up leaving the scarf off. But you can put it on if you like it. This is just a fun little card. I think combining these sets really works. It adds a little bit of flair to this card, and if you know this creature who has a sock fetish, it might give you a little chuckle too. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. It really helps out the channel. And I'll be back soon with more cards to share. Until then, happy crafting. Bye-bye.